Dead by Daylight is one of the newest horror games out there. Created by Behavior Interactive, who helped Bethesda make Fallout Shelter for mobile devices, Dead by Daylight is a multiplayer-only horror experience. The creators call the game an R-rated Scooby-Doo, but can Dead by Daylight live up to its own hype? Let's start with the graphics. Now, I'm not a purist when it comes to graphics, but Dead by Daylight has a realistic feel while making sure not to be ultra-realistic. Everything is undersaturated, which gives the game a haunting feel, adding depth to its environment. All the characters are dressed appropriately, and the blood is everywhere. Grass and trees help hide survivors but don't cover them completely, and the monsters are truly terrifying. The objective of the game is to repair 4 to 6 generators to try to escape from the killers. Players hear a heartbeat to warn them the killer's close, and the killers can also see scratch marks on the ground when a player has recently walked by an area. There are 3 different kinds of killers. One that's a knockoff of Jason from Friday the 13th, one that can turn invisible, and one is the maniac with a chainsaw. On top of this, they added a skill tree system that rewards players with power-ups when they have achieved a certain number of blood points. Even with changing maps, different characters, and skills, Dead by Daylight does get a little stale after a few hundred matches. The game also has some problems. For starters, the game has no group matchmaking. This means friends can only play in private matches together. The other option is you can try to find your buds in matchmaking, but it can be frustrating and nearly impossible to find them. Another bug is that sometimes the killer's mechanics don't work the way they're meant to. I usually don't mind things like this, but the killer has to be right in front of the survivor to hit them, and sometimes they go through walls and other objects. One very specific bug, however, will cause a player to go invisible and they will not be able to move. This has happened to me multiple times and only occurs when the last survivor is about to escape through the last chance trap door and is hit by the killer at the last second. Luckily, while I was recording footage, it happened to me again. Once the player is hit, they then go invisible and cannot move or struggle out of the killer's grasp. So, yeah, that's a small problem. So buy, rent, or skip? I'd say buy. It's only $20 and the game is actually really fun. After a while, the gameplay may get a little stale, but for $20, it's not a bad investment. Dead by Daylight is a good example of how the gaming industry is changing its model. For a game that's only multiplayer, it's cheap and is sure to scare you stiff, at least once. For TMN, I'm Tim Abrams. Shutting the cover closer. Bye? And as always, you're not Deadpool. From inside your grandmother's rectum. And that's why they call me Big Papa. Spay and neuter your pets. Wait, that's Bob Barker. I need to be more professional. So how about, as always, make sure to show your shame. This is Ah Videos.